Hey, hey, hey. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like bringing down some Gen Zs.
Yep.
Yeah?
Doing this.
Okay, let's get this started then.
You know, India is highly populated. Most of our cities are so densely populated. The kids who want to play seriously, they can go to the stadium, they can go to academy, they can go to professional facilities. But this common playing park, who really uses? It's just random, right? Like there's just people coming playing. It doesn't lead to anything.
Don't you think it's only a certain section of kids who can access that?
The government has to, encourage people to play sports. If nobody is winning, are you going to take up that sport? No, right? There's a reason why Arsenal fans don't play football.
That's wild. That's wild.
You got to win. Only when you win will you get people to play.
Some of the top athletes actually come from backgrounds which are not great, where they don't have a support system. I think that's what brings the best out of them. They know that they have to make it.
You're going by a very make or break kind of a situation.
That's how it is. Elite sports is make or break.
If everyone is fully active, then India will save 30 trillion rupees per year in healthcare cost.
Wow, okay, so that is some convincing numbers. But
So are you convinced now?
I am...
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Gameplay Sports, and we are very excited to say that today we have a thrilling season finale for you. So today our producer has a very exciting format for us. So
What's it about?
if you think about it, we are like a generation of Indians who all thought we would be good at sports and we didn't make it. So now we're sitting and talking about it.
Yeah.
But there's a new generation who is making a change and is showing up in the sports field. So today, we felt like let's challenge ourselves. Let's see what Gen Z has for us. So we're going to go and we're going to meet some young people who are passionate about sports, and they're going to tell us what they think about sports, and we're going to see if we agree or disagree.
Oh, nice.
And
That'll be good.
we'll have a nice competition together.
Yeah.
So let's go meet our opponents, and I hope you enjoy our finale.
So, Rahul, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like bringing down some Gen Zs.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get going then. Okay, so the first question is, we built malls over Maidans. What did we expect kids to become? Who's interested in talking about that?
Hi, Chahat.
Hi Rahul.
Okay, our time begins now. So I'm going to say that India needs malls because malls is a mark of development. Mall creates so much jobs and it's great for consumers. And sports is not so important. So that's a secondary problem, but it's more important that we use our spaces for development.
I mean, you're talking to an ESS major. I think consumerism is anyway, like lots of consumerism is bad anyway. And I believe in sports, and everyone is like not chasing medals, but I remember growing up as a kid, we used to live in a colony, and there wasn't any space to play. Like there wasn't any playground. There was this parking lot, and we used to play badminton in that parking lot. It was so hard, and people would come over and they'd be like, "No, you can't. You like we have to park cars here." So I think like it also comes from my experience that I think growing up, you really need spaces to play.
So I
Yeah.
hear you. And I think that spaces shouldn't be coming from the space which goes for development. I think that we have schools. In your case, I think gender is a very important part of it. Like for
Yeah.
girls, it's like I think your parents won't let you go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we have to create inclusive spaces for kids, but not at the cost of like important development. Because if you have a space which can go to a park where kids play and which can be made to use to build build a mall, then of course the mall has much greater value and is much more important. It stands for development of the nation. A field is just some people playing, so you can just make the field anywhere.
No, I don't think that development necessarily means that like you have to build malls, because like sure, economic growth I believe is one thing and development is something else. And for holistic development of a nation, you need things like green spaces in a city, or spaces for kids to play. So I think that's a very essential part of development, like these spaces that have to be there.
So I hear you. So if we have, like, it's true, if we had unlimited space, we should have everything. Like we should have parks and malls and stadiums. But India is highly populated. Most of our cities are so densely populated. the kids who want to play seriously, they can go to the stadium, they can go to academy, they can go to professional facilities. But this common playing park, who really uses nowadays? It's just like, it's just random, right? Like there's people coming, playing. It doesn't lead to anything. But the mall built over there creates so many things. It creates jobs. It brings people together. All these brands come and people get access to it. Like, were you really more excited as a kid when a mall came or when a park came up?
Like I would have been I mean, it didn't happen for me, sadly, but I would have been very, very happy if a playground came instead of a mall. I mean, like, in my city, that it is developing, there are malls and all these like food chains coming up, but there are no the spaces to play. And like you said that it doesn't lead to anywhere. I think that it is very important that even if it doesn't lead to anywhere, everyone should take part in sports and everyone should play. But it's a very important part of growing up, playing games and playing outdoors. So yeah.
So I agree with you. Playing is very important, and I see more and more kids who are spending all their time looking at screens. But I go to these malls. These malls have so many nice playing spaces. The kids play with balloons and balls and the little jumping things, and you're running around the mall, running up the escalator. There's so much playing going around. So I feel like kids have, and now you're protected, there's air condition, your parents feel secure. And I mean, I feel like it's a new nice playing space for children.
Don't you think it's only a certain section of kids who can access that? Like, I was still, I'd say, privileged, who got a chance to go to malls and play. Like, it was so expensive still. Like, there's this gaming zone, and I mean, there are gaming zones, and they cost like, I don't know, some 800 rupees an hour. Yeah, if you have to, like, those trampoline parks are so expensive. It's only like a certain section which gets to go to these trampoline parks or go to these malls and play. But as green spaces are one of those areas where everyone can come, where everyone is welcome, everyone can play. And I think that's how the true development of a nation works.
Okay, so this is something actually that makes a lot of sense to me also, that it's true that malls are accessible to a very small section of Indian society. And I mean, malls probably won't even let you enter if you are not a paying customer.
Yeah.
It's a good question to think about. So what do you think? Like, you said your own experience that when you were growing up, there wasn't really any place to play. My memory was also the same, that I was playing in someone's parking lot whose car is not parked. You're finding spaces.
Yeah.
Like, so where do kids play then? If we don't have public parks, and you're saying there's houses and parking lots and shops and stuff coming up.
For a city to be for the temperature to be balanced, it's very important to have a green space in the middle of the city. For example, Chandigarh is one city which is planned like that, where there is a park in the center of every sector. So I guess we could do something like that to it'll not only just encourage kids to play, not only just encourage sports, but also lead to other factors like balancing the temperature of a city, or increasing the biodiversity of a city. So I guess, yeah, it has to be a very important part of urban planning.
And I wanted to add over here that, I mean, just out of a question, like your friends and other people in your age group, do you ever hear anyone say, we don't have enough playing spaces, where will I go to play?
Yes.
You do?
Yes,
Oh,
because when I was growing up, so I never really went to any of these playing spaces because A, there weren't any, and B, like you said, gender problem as well, because I'm a girl, because parents were like, it's okay, like you just play inside the house, what's the problem, why do you want to go out? Yes. But it was the time of COVID when everyone actually realized that how important it is to go out, and that's when we found out that there was this parking space near to our house, and all of the kids, boys and girls both, of the colony used to come out and play in that parking area. So then that's when we started talking, and we were like, yeah, there's not, like, those kids still played in school, and when schools shut down, they found out this parking space. But my school was very like academic oriented. There wasn't much sports, which is like nowadays when I talk to kids, I mean, when I talk to people of my age, like everyone's like, oh yeah, we played sports in school. Why do you want other other green spaces to play? But not everyone had that opportunity to take part in sports in school. So I think, yeah, there should be
Okay.
parking spaces.
I'm going to agree with you here. I'm going to say I think one of the things I find when I talk to a lot of young kids is that there are kids who will play, but play really seriously. Like I'm playing to compete. I'm playing to
Yeah.
play in this league. I have this match. Or there'll be kids who will say I'm playing to get fit. But I think I really like to say that not only kids, everyone, like you're going out because that's the only time when you're really going out. Like our lives are completely inside. And it's the only time we're
Yeah.
off screen. It's the only time we're actually interacting with each other. So I feel like more than spaces, also it's an attitude change that we have to have at a society, as in Indian
Exactly.
society.
Yes, I think people have to feel themselves that how good it feels that if you're having a bad day and you go out and you play something, like it just uplifts your mood instantly. You don't need, like, it's one of the best, I would say, like one of the happiest moments when you're playing outdoors. So I think everyone should experience that once.
Okay, thanks a lot. And let's
Yeah.
go out and play now.
Hey. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah?
Let's bring this.
Okay, let's get this started then. So the next question is, would you rather see one Neeraj Chopra or a billion people playing? Who wants to go ahead and answer that? Okay.
So, what do you think?
Well, I think that a billion people playing
Uh-huh.
is much more impactful than one Neeraj Chopra. And I feel like this mainly comes from a place where, like, if a billion people do play, a billion people will get opportunities. And, like, you're not going to tell me, like, a one person is, like, way better than a billion different people. A billion different people have, like, I feel like even out of them, at least, like, easily 20K people will have much more better skill set than the one person. And I feel like that 20K people can be honed even better to get like even more selective of people who could like get much higher like gold medals or even like a much higher like medals in like even team sports like football and stuff like that. So yeah.
Let me give you a scenario. We are in India.
Mhm.
Resources are already scarce. We
Mhm.
have too many people.
Mhm.
And we have this one chance to break into the world sporting arena.
Hmm.
At that point, I don't think a billion people should be playing
Hmm.
because we need the push for sports now.
Hmm.
And the most sense which makes is
Hmm.
having a good return on investment,
Hmm.
right? So you put all the investment in one good prospective athlete.
Hmm.
And we can get the best medal. And then once we get the medal, people will also realize that you can fund sports. So
Hmm.
I think we should just focus on the really good sporting people first.
Mhm.
Think about the billion people later. I think, we have other needs that they have to work for. So I think the whole focus should be on just one athlete. Like, look at all our medals. Karana Malleshwari, solo. Neeraj Chopra, Singh, PV Sindhu, right? And with team sports, look at the investment, man. You have to train 11 people, and that also counts as one medal. It's not even like 11 medals,
Hmm.
right? So why worry? Let's just focus on which sports we get medals and just push for that.
Okay, I throw the question back at you.
Okay.
Does Brazil have like more facilities than us?
Maybe in some sports, but they're pretty similar in other sense,
Okay, let's talk purely in footballing sense. It's a very team-based sport,
right?
and like for them, football runs in their blood.
Mhm.
That's also because a billion different people get to play that sport.
Yeah.
There are like many different places in Brazil to play that sport, and like it's a very accessible place in Brazil itself.
Mhm.
The only place which I can compare that to in India is like probably Kerala or the regions in Northeast or like probably like Bengal, West
Mm.
Bengal as well. So you're telling like a country like Brazil, which like 100% doesn't have like as much as like economic power as India,
Mhm.
is able to like get like 5 World Cups and like produce like n number of talents who make up like millions of dollars in living. And you're
Mhm.
telling like India, which has like a billion different people and like a whole lot of population,
Mhm.
can't produce the same caliber of people.
Yeah, I actually think in this case, yes, because compared to Brazil, I think, yes, they have one sport which they're really good at. They're also okay in beach volleyball, I think.
Mhm.
But their focus on football, which is pretty much like the cricket of our country,
Mhm.
they've been winning in most cases the World Cup, and I'm pretty sure even in the Olympics, right?
Mhm.
But I would say, even with that, 2026 or the Olympics, which is coming ahead, cricket will be included. So we have a sure shot gold. So you really want to go train people from the ground, encourage 1 billion people to play. Once you encourage people to play, they won't work, and we won't even have proper economic development also. So I think the best thing to do is see who's winning, put all the investment on them. It's like stock market. If a stock price is going up, bet on it, right? Why do you care about all the blue stocks? Not the blue stocks, all the pink bad stocks. Don't. Just focus on one, right? That's what it is, right? Dwayne Johnson says focus. So we are wasting a lot of money here. Think about it. India is a developing country, and a developing country getting a gold is better than a developing country where everybody can run a 5-minute mile. Boring. We need the glory.
Okay, let's say same situation.
Uh-huh.
You look at European countries. You look at like country like Germany. You look at countries like England. Most of the economic growth comes from sports, especially football. If you talk purely about the economic growth as well, football plays a huge role. Like even recently, a club called Bayern Munich from Germany, they got like a $1 billion in profits. And like club like Arsenal, they like give a lot of like hundreds of millions of dollars in like through the government itself, and like they play a huge like part in the economic growth as well. And like you can easily, if you're talking from money perspective, you can like easily make hell lot of money in sports if you know how to develop it. Let's say you're like investing everything on one person. What if that person gets injured? What if that person goes through some mental breakdown? What if that person like burns out? Then all of your investments is down to the drain, like the stock market.
Right.
Then I feel like if you're like going to invest on a whole lot of people on the grassroots, you're going to have like bunch of people. Even if like 10 people or 20 people succeed in that, you'll get like 10 or 20 times more than what you would expect from one person.
We are not in a position, unfortunately, as a country, as of now, where we can just encourage everyone, right? Think about it. Given a choice, how many people play sports in this country? Just by sheer numbers, we would have to pretty much change the budget, right? Sporting equipment, training, travel costs, food, nutrition for so many people. But you select 5 people, the best of the best of the best, right? And then just train them for one reason and one reason only: bring that medal. And it's, I feel, easier. See, let's focus something on shooting, right? We had some medals there. Seems like an easier opportunity. You can at least set up a shooting range indoor. You don't need a huge field. We can get a medal there. Which is efficiency. Just look for efficiency. Why worry about 1 billion people?
What about the equipments of the guns? How much do they cost?
I mean, they cost a lot, but at least if there's one guy who's sure shot who's going to get the bullseye, I'm going to put the money on him, right? I'm going to always put the money on him. So if I was the government, right, and the government has to encourage people to play sports, if nobody is winning, are you going to take up that sport? No, right? There's a reason why Arsenal fans don't play football. It's
That's wild. That's wild. This is coming.
So you got to win. Only when you win will you get people to play. Right.
Also clapping in the background.
Right. Only when you win will you get people encouraged and play. So if we need one person to encourage that. If you remember our esports episode, in Brazil, that's what happened. There was one esports team which won, and the whole of South America started playing. Neeraj Chopra did the same. We need another one like that. And that's possible only if you get focus on one person. Let the 1 billion people figure it out. It's just time. If I take the Arsenal example itself, right, would you have wanted them to spend money on looking for new players, or would you wanted the stars of Arsenal get better training so that they win? At one point, you had to make a choice, and I think we are stuck in the same place here.
But like one.
Thanks. Alvin, welcome. So, what's your point?
So, my point is that I speak on the behalf of that billion people. I think they should. I want a country where 1 billion people plays. I can somewhat agree that we need Neeraj Chopra also, but in my opinion, like, what am I looking for? I start with asking you a question like, what are you playing for? Like, are you playing for medals, or are you playing to be fit? Like,
Maybe I'm just playing to be the greatest athlete ever, which I am, guys. Everybody.
so
Right? The
yeah,
motivation is different, but I
yeah.
understand
So
very
there can be different motivation for different people. It can be medal for someone. It can be
Mhm.
just like spending time with friends and all. I'm saying that, in my opinion, like everyone chasing a medal is like not healthy, because there will be too much competition also. And I think the billion people who are playing should go for like their own fitness, especially. And if they start playing like different sports, they'll get to know more people, and that's how you get to know like there are different sports that we don't know. Do you know there is a sport called ring tennis also?
What is ring tennis?
That I
Enlighten
didn't
me.
know. I didn't know.
Okay.
One of the senior in MA told me about this sport, and I was like very curious. What is it about? And like this is how we get to know that there are other sports also which are not mainstream. But yeah, we can go and try, have fun, we play. And there was a screening of one of the documentary recently in our college about running.
Mhm.
Like 4 people ran from Bangalore to Tamil Nadu. It was Chennai. It was a ultra marathon distance.
Wait, didn't they know there was a train available?
They did it to raise funds and all.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of them was Chandra,
Okay.
a lady who was 60 years old, and I was very inspired. She said one line that body will be fit,
Mhm.
but the mind will start believing in impossible things, like which we think is not possible.
Mhm.
Like when there will be a Neeraj Chopra, but I think he's like a spark, and that spark can lit fire amongst those other billions.
Superb, Alvin. I understand your point, and you're saying people should play sports because not to get a medal, but to make themselves fit and other benefits of the sport. I'll give you a solution. Let me know if this is okay. We have a lot of gyms in India. Let people go get fit there, right? In sports, we need medals because if we are going to be number one in economy, number one in everything, we got to go up the Olympics table, right? If the Olympics table, if we are not there in the top 10,
Yeah.
I don't think we'll get recognized ever as a sporting nation, right? Take, for example, a country which is extremely fit but does not have any medals. So, what's the use of being fit? And there are other ways of being fit. With a gym, at least, you have different kinds of exercise. You watch other sports on TV. But if we have to win a medal, just choose the athletes. Let's focus on one, right?
Yeah, like I agree with you on like I agree with you somewhat, but I think that unless and until those billion people start playing, we'll be only just focusing on one. Like
Mhm.
why can't we have one more PV Sindhu? Like we need people to start playing so that we can get more people like that. I think it's like a slow process. It will be a slow
Right.
process that
Okay, let's
yeah.
figure this out. So if we need a bigger pool of people so that more success stories come from that. Is that what you're saying? If that's the case, then super, because we will just focus on 14, 15-year-olds so that we recognize who's the best. After that, let's just fund that one person. Because we got to win that medal, Alvin. Don't you want that gold?
Yeah, obviously, like
Right?
as a country, as a citizen of a country, I would want that. But I think that when more people start playing, then like they would explore more sports also. Then we can get I think more medals also. The government will recognize that yeah, they are working on that. There is some sport which is not been explored in our country.
Right. But the only problem I would have with that is if the government is recognizing all the sports, pushing all the sports, then we have jack of all trades. Everybody is playing everything, and we are not focusing. And what if we are mediocre at everything and we are not good at anything?
I think that this is a slow process. As
It's
I
a
said.
slow process.
Yeah,
Okay.
we would not see the result like as just now only, but eventually there will be a time when like this gets like all over the country.
Mhm.
Like we'll eventually see results also.
You want to tag in someone and see if their argument works. I'm convinced. You guys want to come? Let's see. Okay, so I'm taking your point, Alvin. Let's see what she has to say. What do you think? You
So
gonna go with
I'll-
Alvin?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would support that mass participation is more important than just celebrating one medal in one country. So imagine one country A where all the people are celebrating one medal,
Mhm.
and imagine a country B where everyone is somewhat active and some are experts, but
Mhm.
everyone is overall they are active in sports. Okay, what do you think? Which country will be better in? Will be performing better in all aspects?
I would still go with the first one where there is one medal.
Yeah.
The human condition is individual, right? Let's focus on the individual. Free will is individual. So if one person can go acquire that gold, let's support him rather than just asking everybody to play, even if they don't want to.
So then this is kind of selfish aspect.
Uh-huh.
If you think about a whole country, then everyone playing is always better. And if you're saying about inspiration and celebration, how long that celebration and inspiration last? It will just go away in a while.
No, sometimes it lasts for 10 years. I think from 2014.
So
we have
you will
been
be celebrating one medal for whole 10 years.
Our country has been
Okay.
doing that and we are doing fine,
Then
right?
what about health, happiness, community, opportunity?
Well, for those things, we have other things for health. Like I said, told Alvin, we have the gym. For community, we have Instagram. For what else do we have? So, but we need the medal, right? None of these things bring us the medal. How can we be sure that India reaches on top?
Okay.
Nobody actually cares if, India is top in economy. It's boring. India won a gold medal. So
So
compared to that, everybody is playing.
fine. Mass participation and elite sports are not mutually exclusive.
Okay.
I mean, if you focus on mass participation, that will actually enhance the chances of producing more elite sports. Okay, if you're like, think about education, you don't invest on a student who has the highest IQ, and you say that everyone should get educated. You don't say that, okay, he has the highest IQ and let's invest on him, and he'll become scientist and he'll be useful for us. He'll get Nobel Prize or something and we'll be celebrating it. You educate everyone. So that is the same way we can see sports
Mhm.
will make everyone play and everyone will be healthy, and that will automatically generate more medals or more excellence in the sports field.
See, we have tried that, right? We have tried primary education being given to everyone. We have IITs, which is pretty much the creme de la creme of all the people who are studying education. Even with all of that, we still haven't. It's been a while since India won a Nobel Prize. So you see where it's going. But let's take the tech sector. Look at people who are investing in all of that. They're doing it alone. So like that in sports, let's not worry about somewhere in the future it's going to come. We need a medal now. And the only way to do it, I feel, is put money on that one person.
According to one report, 200 million of Indians are inactive. Like, they are doing activity less than recommended by WHO. And in same report, it is mentioned that if everyone is fully active, then India will save 30 trillion rupees per year in healthcare cost. So,
Wow, okay, so that is some convincing numbers.
Yeah.
But
so are you convinced now?
I'm convinced of the fact that they should go for a walk, not go play sport. You just keep yourself active, that's enough. But them getting to exercise the Olympic. See, the thing is, I'm impatient. Yes, dividends will come sometime later, but I won't be able to celebrate that. I want a medal now, and I want it fast. I want it in a sport
if we are able to, okay, if you are putting money on someone and he's getting medal, that means that we have potential. And if you are encouraging sports, that person will also be encouraged, and that will eventually bring us medal. You are so obsessed with medal.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so
have you
that's
seen
what
the gold
I'm saying.
prizes?
That's what I'm saying.
I need that gold.
If mass participation is increased, the number of medals will also increase.
Also increase. All right, let me hear out one more and then let's see if I'll be convinced.
Okay.
Please. Okay, what do you think? Which side are you taking?
I am also taking the same side. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like we celebrating one medal, I think it is mediocrity, right? Because we have 1 billion people, like, yeah, that is a huge amount of people. So, statistically saying,
Mm-hmm.
we should have more elite athletes.
Right. So
Yeah.
to get there,
Yeah,
right, we have to get more people who are really good at that sport
yeah,
to enter Olympics or higher competitions,
yeah,
right? And I will be really happy if we are getting a medal every day. Celebration all around, superb.
yeah,
And my thing is, for us to get there, we can't just ask everybody to play, right? We need people, investment, focus. We need the best coach and the best athlete, get the best physiotherapist, the best trainer, and whatever it is, put it on a team and send. I'm pretty sure I think we can win, right? I mean, look at India's cricket team. The amount of money we have put in, it's showing results, right? Even if Virat Kohli becomes duck, we are winning.
Yeah.
That's something.
yeah, sure. Like, I agree with this. But the fact is that we are celebrating systemic failure, I think. Like, one medal is not a salvation.
Whoa. Oh, hold on. Okay. Explain. How are we celebrating systemic failure?
I think we deserve more medals, not only one. One medal is not a like ultimate goal.
Yeah,
Like we can have more medals.
we certainly can. We need to have.
Yeah.
We need to
So
have
that
more.
will only happen when the whole India starts playing.
Mhm.
So statistically, like we should have more elite athletes, and like countries like New Zealand,
Mhm.
Jamaica, or something like that. They have very like little population, but they are very good. Like they are getting more medals than us.
Right.
Why can't we like think
So the
like that?
only problem I have with that, which
Yeah.
was similar to what
Yeah.
I told her, was fine. You want everybody to play sports,
Yeah.
right? So that everybody starts playing and the number of medals increase. And are we forcing what game they or what sport they play?
No,
Whatever they wish.
obviously, yeah, no,
And they just play that.
yeah,
So if I like hide and seek as a sport, I just
Yeah.
play that.
yeah,
Pickleball plays pickleball.
yeah,
So you have around 200 different sports,
yeah,
people just playing. So everything is diluted, right? Nobody has focus because everybody can play everything. So they will just play and they're like, something, this was fun. Okay, bye.
okay. I think why can't pickleball be a like sport in
Yeah, certainly.
Olympics?
I agree with pickleball. But the
Yeah.
thing is, if I have an opportunity to just play and everybody is doing that,
Yeah.
I'll also go do play whatever I want. But I won't put effort, right? Because everybody is just doing it. It's nothing special. Nobody wants to look at. So if we, instead of that,
Yeah,
you ask everyone, hey, you guys, please listen, pay your taxes so that we can pay this one guy who can get a medal. Straight up, public
I
funded
don't-
medal.
I don't think we are like going in the like correct way. We should not think one medal is a salvation, but we should consider many people playing and getting more medals. Like Jamaica like has some 3 or 4 million people,
Mhm.
and Jamaica is very good at sprinting. Like they
Right.
get more medals in sprinting.
Correct.
Yeah, that is what I'm
They
saying.
never invested in like football, wrestling, nothing. They focused on running and they got the medals.
It's not like that. There is a competition for running, and they are encouraging people in sprinting. That is the thing.
Right. So they are also focusing on one sport. Let us do the same thing.
Yeah, that is 3 million people focusing on one sport. We are
Imagine
1
the power of 1 billion people
Yes, yes.
focused.
Yes,
We're going to win, right?
yes, we can have elite athletes in it.
Right.
We can achieve so much with many people playing in it, and we can get many medals. One medal is not the ultimate goal.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is
Right.
what I'm saying.
Okay, I think 3 of you have kind of pushed me to the middle ground. Yeah, I think everybody should, or if not play, I'm gonna, with very tough words, say, yeah, we can encourage others to play sports while we invest on only one. Would that be a good measure?
invest. Why are we just thinking about investing on only one?
Well, it's, you
if
know,
we if we create opportunities in our system, like
Mhm.
if we give opportunities for small children, like when we are small, if society encourage us in sports,
Mhm.
like we will obviously create our own space. Like I will take some actions to create some space where I can practice and where I can
Right.
do
This
the
is,
things right.
I will agree with this. It is
Yeah.
a problem of both structure and agency.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Okay, Arvind.
Hello.
Hey. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Are you ready for the conversations today?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Let's go.
Okay, let's get them started. So, Arvind, the statement here is we're raising kids for medals, not movement, and we're burning them out before they grow up. So, who would like to talk about this? Okay, we'll have you come first, yeah, in the blue.
Yeah, I genuinely believe that we are raising our kids just for medals, and they do burn out when they're students because the mentality these days is the ends justify the means. So parents, coaches, institutions only see success as having a medal or winning, and the overall focus fails to be the overall development of a child. So when they grow up, and if they're not successful as athletes, if they don't have a medal, as he pointed out, they end up there's nothing more for them. They were raised for that one purpose, and once that purpose is lost, they have nothing.
Yeah, but I feel like in our country, for us to get everybody moving, we need some people who can sort of show the light, and that inspiration needs to come. So we need somebody who can actually go and perform at the world stage. And for that, the way things are going, even like 0.1% of an advantage in an elite space counts for everything. So I don't think that's going to happen by making sure everybody's nice and comfortable. You have to grind through every little bit of advantage that you can get from the time you're small. And even then, there are no guarantees that you'll actually make it, right? So that's the world we live in. So I don't think there's a choice here.
Yeah, so that's exactly my point. There are no guarantees that you will make it. So isn't it important, and isn't it our responsibility as a society to make sure these children, by the time if they become professionals, if they're successful or not, there is a safety net for them?
Sure.
Are
I
they
mean,
only
I'm
valuable to
okay
us
with
as
the-
long as they win medals?
No, I'm fine with the safety net point, but I'm not at all up for the idea of, making sure that they are going in a very simple graded fashion. I'm looking at the larger good here, right? So, yes, we might have a few players who will not make it, and that happens in every country. It's not like it happens only here, right? Every country where elite sportsmen exist, only a fraction of the people who start off make it, right? Fine, let's have some safety nets for them. There's nothing wrong with that. But we can't compromise on the training. We can't compromise on the hard work. I feel that's not happening anymore. I think your generation and maybe the younger kids are probably not doing as much as they should to get there and stay there at a high level in sports.
So my definition of a safety net is not raising a child just to play the one sport with the one goal in mind. These children, because even as an athlete, you only have that's a temporary career. They're going to retire by the time they're 30 or in their mid 30s. They need to have something to look forward to after that. They need to have a life to live. So my definition of a safety net is raising a child with an education. They shouldn't have to drop out after 10th grade just to solely pursue the sport. We as a society need to make sure, and coaches also need to be held accountable for not just for the students that they're taking on the court, but how they're being raised off the court as well.
See, at some level, I think if you want to really make it at a really elite level, and you pick examples, let's say Djokovic,
Yeah.
right? He grew up in a country, war-torn country.
Yeah.
Let's take many other examples. Many of the athletes from Brazil, some of the top athletes actually come from backgrounds which are not great, where they don't have a support system and they don't have a safety net. They don't
Yeah.
know that there is a safety net. So the stakes are really high. And I think that's what brings the best out of them. They know that they have to make it, and there's no room for error.
So
And
you're
that's
going
what
by a
really.
very make or break kind of a situation
That's
where
how
they're
it
going
is.
through.
Elite sports is make or break.
But I mean, there's plenty of proof that it's not necessary. If you compare two coaches, there's
Okay.
Urban Meyer from the University of Florida and John Wooden from UCLA. Urban Meyer's entire thing was the definition of success is winning, and he grinded his athletes out to the point that by the time yes, he was successful in that they won national championships, but by the time his athletes reached the NFL, they were already way too burnt out as students to actually make any difference when it mattered. John Wooden, on the other hand, said, success is peace of mind knowing you've done your best. He never chewed his athletes out for losing a match as long as those athletes felt they did their best. And they've not only done well once they went to the NBA, all of them had long, solid careers. Kareem Abdul Jabbar was one of those players. And they also went on to have successful post NBA careers as well. So there's a really good example here of a man who's taken responsibility for his players. He's made sure that they're successful not only for the sport, but they've also had a life after that.
No, nobody's saying that you can't have a life after that. I'm saying when you're on that ground and when you're supposed to be there, you better be there. And you train like completely, give your everything, and don't wait for a safety net, right? I think the safety net is making things difficult because when I'm
What's
out
your
there,
definition of a safety net?
anything, like if you're saying, if I have the sense as a sports person that, even if I don't perform at the highest level, I'll be okay. If I'm going in with that mentality, then I don't think it's going to be really easy for me to
You and I are
go through
defining safety net a
situations.
little differently over here.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, that's what we're talking about,
Yeah.
right? You're saying that we need to build these safety nets to
But-
make sure that everything is fine. And I'm okay with the education part. Yes, obviously you should get an education. But if we are talking about safety nets from the time you start, I don't think that's
No, I'm
how
not talking
you.
about a safety net from
And
the
for
time you start.
every example that you give, there are 10 other examples of people who've not had that sort of a
Yeah.
upbringing, not had that best coach who kind of looked out for them, but still made it, right? They're elite athletes. For every one person that you can say, I can talk about 100
But
other people.
Them becoming
So what
elite
is the
athletes is
more
different from
proven
them
model?
burning out.
So-
We're talking about these athletes burning out right now. And don't you think that kind of a system where you're absolutely putting them through, what do you call it?
Grinder.
I was not going to say grinder, there was another word, but okay, it slipped out of my mind. So you're putting them through hell basically. And the system that you're advocating right now is very make or break. The ones who make it, and the ones who don't make it, well, too bad.
Okay, so let's look at a situation where I'm giving everybody education, making sure that they have that. But
Yeah.
they are expected to be doing everything that they have to do in comparison to every other athlete outside, right? That's what we are talking about.
Yeah.
That's what we want. Does that sound like a fair compromise?
It is a fair compromise. Fair enough. But again, there's a way it's about the way it's being done right now, right? You can't absolutely uncompromise. Like, these are children who children need to have fun. They need to have a childhood. So I feel like when you're raising kids just with the sole purpose of raising a medal, that's all they know, right?
We need our athletes to work really hard, but we also need to take care of them.
Yeah.
But somehow we have to do that without letting them feel like they can give any lesser than
Yeah.
everybody else. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hello.
Hi, Arvind.
Hi.
Hi. So I'd like to. My perspective is a little different. As in, I have been playing badminton since I was around 5 years old, and I know the kind of grind that comes with it, the amount of years that you give to the sport. It's a whole different kind of dedication, right? And I also know what kind of toll it takes on you, right? So, right, obviously, to make it anywhere professionally, you need to put in that kind of effort. It needs to be there. It can't just all be easy going.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally
but-
with you there.
But all that, even in my experience, even the more you work, even though you're just doing the work that you need to, get to where you need to be, it can take such a huge toll on your body. Like, even when you're just, in your mind, okay, I'm just working hard, I'm doing everything I can. For me, it just led to things that I couldn't even control. I got multiple stress fractures, which was just because I moved a lot and I jumped a lot, and it was nothing else I could really do about it other than just rest. And I know many of my fellow athletes who've also gone through the same thing, just because they've been told hard work is the only way out, which is true, definitely. But in spite of all this, in our country, especially in our country, is what I'm saying. When you reach the sort of point where you're supposed to be at the peak of your playing experience, like your level, like maybe 15, 16 years old, your game really starts to change and go to a different level. That's when the 10th board exams come. That's when school starts to pick up. And then all that hard work, so nothing. Your parents immediately take you out. I've seen so many talented players go that way. That's one way to look at it. But let's look at the child who continues to play even with school and all going on. That was
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
So my schedule in 12th grade just consisted of just waking up early in the morning for fitness, and then going to school right after that, and then coming back, maybe taking an hour of a nap or something, and then playing all the way till the night again. So I think all this is part of the grind, but we're not really looking at the mental side. Is in general is what my whole point is. I feel like even if we recognize the grind that comes with it, we need to look at the sort of mental aspect and see.
So you're saying that there is a lot of hard work going in, but
You need
what
to.
what do you mean when you say
Yeah,
that the
we're
mental
not
side is
looking
not
at
there?
their mental health, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I mostly mean when it comes to burnout. Like, it's more a kind of mental fatigue that comes with there's also the pressure of playing in tournaments and having to be your best for it.
But don't you think that's what is expected in elite sports?
Yes.
Like you have to manage that mental stress, right? I
Mhm.
mean, the best athletes are the ones who are able to manage that
Mm.
stress, and in fact, not just manage it, bring their best
Mm.
at the most stressful situation. Like
Right.
some of the best players, at the most crucial of moments when everybody else is kind of weighed under that stress, they are the ones who come out all guns blazing, right?
Mm.
So how do you actually get to that point when you are training under a space where there is no stress,
Yeah.
right?
So,
So
yeah.
yeah,
So I want to bring, like I said, when I said I had a different angle, I wanted to look at how society, like mostly looking at the parents of the the children who actually play, how they kind of treat this whole thing of being training for professional sports. Like,
the parents angle.
yeah,
you're
the
saying.
parents angle, and
Okay.
in my experience, there were multiple points of time in my life where I felt like I really do love playing, but I also hate it at the same time, because the constant pressure of not performing at tournaments. Like, my tournament records are not very good, I'll be honest, but ultimately when you're training, the only goal was, okay, you win this tournament, get to the next level, you finish district, you go to state, you get in internationals, all of that. But when it comes to the pressure that actually comes with it, it starts a sort of love-hate relationship with the sport, and it makes the player not feel like really playing anymore. Like, I saw that happen mostly with my parents, as in I was mostly after a tournament.
So you're saying your parents were also sort of creating that stress
Yeah,
and wanted some results for all the work that was put in.
exactly.
And,
I'm seeing it more in my friends as well, who also dropped out eventually after playing for a very long time, because after each tournament you're just asked about the result, right? You're just e- every single time there's that cliche line of, okay, win and lose doesn't matter, just give it your best, but it never really means anything, right? Ultimately it's just the pressure of having to perform that makes a lot of people just not like their sport anymore and just feel burnt out.
yeah, no,
So-
I totally get that. I mean, another thing that I feel is very important at elite level of sports is that when you are playing, of course, you're playing at a very high level, but there has to be an element of play also, right? And that comes from being in that zone. That comes from, at some level, enjoyment at a very deep level, right? Where you are not even worried about what's going to happen in that point. You're playing that point and you're at that moment. You're just at that present, right? You're completely present and only at that moment you're doing what is required. And it's pure instinct,
Yeah.
right? And that comes through some level of, a mix of sport and play, which probably is what is required.
Yeah.
And which is something that our coaches need to learn how to do. And maybe that's the missing element at this point. And the lack of that is maybe what's causing the burnout. But I still think there is a way we can manage to do both, which is to make sure that you go through the grind, because it is important to go
Yes,
through it.
definitely,
Because if you don't, then you are like that 1%, 0.1% behind somebody else, and you'll not be able to win. But at the same time, we want you also to be in that zone where you're able to perform your best. So it's actually comes down to how you manage that, right? And that maybe is not something that we should leave to a child or to a young athlete, and that's something that needs to be managed by parents and coaches.
Yeah. So the point that I want to somewhat end with was that I kind of wish that there was a sort of overall mindset change in coaches and parents of kids, because in the end, what are we playing for, right? It's not just medals that are the end goal. Like, you want the sport to kind of be a part of your life, because for me right now it definitely is. Like, I can't really imagine my life without playing, and it's really helped me in a lot more ways than just physically. Like, it's built so many skills. Like, I probably wouldn't have volunteered for this if I hadn't played badminton earlier in my life. It's that sort of confidence that the sports gives you. So I really wish this sort of mindset change about seeing sports as something not just for winning, showing results, and maybe just holistic development in general. If something like that could, and it's very wishful thinking, but if something like that could be seen in coaches and parents, like where you're just pushing not just for the medal, but to make them actually have fun with it, so they can actually carry that on even if they're not able to make it to that top 1%, because making it there is very difficult. So that's maybe that kind of mindset change can also help with the burnout problem, because that's not the only goal then.
Yeah, totally. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, that's kind of the point I want to make.
So the question here is, if an esports player trains 12 hours a day and earns crores, are they athletes or addicts? Is there anyone from the audience who wants to come up for that? Yeah, please do.
Hi Shiva.
Hello, Rahul.
What do you got for me?
I think that there's a very big misconception of athlete, socially speaking. Do you agree?
Well, let me hear what you have to say before I agree.
Okay. So I think that, the question is basically, do people in society think that esports is legitimate, or esports players are real athletes or not? They don't, but I think that that's wrong, because esports, I won't say it has sports in the name, but still, esports, when you consider what they do to become good at it, it's basically what any athlete does to become good at their sport. So I don't understand the disprivileging of, esports and gamers and the whole culture.
Do you play any games?
Sometimes.
Do you play any sports?
Sometimes. Both.
So I mean, you tell me, like, does it feel like you're doing the same amount of things in both?
I mean, it's just that personally, playing sports is, of course, a lot more fatiguing, obviously. But then that's not the reason that esports is considered as not legitimate. It's because the cultural view of like sitting in front of a monitor for 12 hours is like, oh, you're doing nothing. You're doing wasting time. But if you say, oh, I want to become really good at this sport, maybe football, for example, and you say, mom, I want to go join this training camp, I'll be gone for a week. And then if you're like somewhat good at that sport, and they've seen you put time towards that sport, they're more likely to agree than if you say, I'm going to play CS actually for 12 hours. And then your parents will be like, no, study or like become better in life. And I think that mainly the cultural misconception is my point.
Okay, so I guess in order to make this fair, let's just take out all the physical intensive sports, which can't really be compared. Let's talk about sports which are more similar, right? So in my head, I was thinking, so I don't know if chess is considered a sport either. It's an e-sport. No, really, it's in the esports World Cup.
Really?
Yeah. But there are sports. So I thought of car racing. Horse racing,
Car racing,
Formula One. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean you're sitting in a car,
Yeah.
right? Horse racing, which is an Olympics event.
Right.
Yacht racing, the Ryder Cup is one of the most famous things. Other sports like I think bowling is one sport, and of course golf. Like sports where you don't think of the athletes actually needing a lot of physical things.
True.
And I thought maybe that's a good place to compare esports with.
Agreed.
So I think let's start with the first place. All these sports, what makes it sports is that you have to train to even be good at it. Just explain to me, like I think most of you here would probably be really good at one or the other game because you put in so many hours. So like many of the sports, it's a special skill you have to learn and pick up. In
Right.
esports, I think first up, that's the perception that it's something every kid is playing and playing hours and hours. So what is the different thing that an esports athlete or a gamer is doing?
You know, I don't really think that the saying, 10,000 hours into something and you become really good at it always applies. It applies to a level that you will become good at it, obviously. But to go to the, the top, the pro athlete levels, anyone who plays football for 12 hours is not going to cut it. There's a lot of other factors behind that. Like, I mean, because of my sports and fitness OT, nutrition is important. Keeping track of your schedule is very important. Planning around it is important. There's a lot of background work that makes the athlete a pro. In the same way, there's a lot of background work that makes an esports player into a pro esports player. Anyone who plays Candy Crush for 10,000 hours is not going to make the leaderboard. It's people who are intentionally devoting time to that. And every specific game in the esports division or whatever is a different specialized set of skills, as is normal sports.
Yeah. So, okay. So I think I'll accept this much that to be really good at anything requires a level of dedication. Someone who becomes a professional esports also obviously has required a lot of hard work, dedication. I think you'll also, I mean, all of our viewers will know that esports is not just hitting buttons. There's strategy, there is understanding, there's communication, there's planning, there's of course mental fitness, there's a physical fitness component. But I'll tell you two ways in which I think it doesn't fit into athletes. So firstly, if you go to any of our tech firms, you'll find people coding for 12 hours. Fundamentally, what's the difference between coding for 12 hours and playing video games and playing computer games for 12 hours? It's athletically, it seems to me the same to me. So why put that person into the same bracket as professional athletes?
But then, isn't that the same argument we were before at? The word athlete has implicitly considered physical fitness as part of it. If you remove that, then yes, a coding person
So everyone's athlete who works for a long time.
No, I mean I don't really know how to reframe the word athlete to include esports players, but that's not my problem only. My problem
esports is not given the same.
Yeah, I mean, esports is disprivileged unfairly. That's
so. I think I'll tell you one more way we think about it, which is that like what's the sports like? What kind of games do you play? Esports.
I mean, I played Valorant for a bit.
Valorant is a shooting game, right?
Yeah.
So
FPS.
like I played a bit of esports, nothing of that seriousness. So Call of Duty shooting games.
Card.
When you play these shooting games, they require a lot of skill, right? Aiming, moving. But when you look at the game, there are like so many things that you can do. If you look at a sport, the kind of possibilities seem much more infinite to me.
Right.
Like because in the game design and the game design is restricting what are the things you can do, right? Like okay, some like you can move, shoot, aim, move around things. But even if you look at like simple, that's why I thought horse racing or car racing, right? There is such a complicated aspect to all the different kind of human errors you can make, right? Which I find that esport doesn't have that. Like even a lower level gamer on the screen looks very impressive because the game design, you're not actually seeing yourself, right? You're seeing the avatar. And the avatar is moving. It's all coded. It's not like the avatar does film. So I feel like the level of error seems much low in video games to me than let's say any other form of like, so we are saying anything competitive is athlete, right? But in video games, it seems to me like there is the bar for making mistakes or making errors or like completely doing badly is almost like non-existent as opposed to a lot of other sports. So that's why a lot of people don't think it's that kind of seriousness involved in training, preparing that, other sports have.
Wait, wasn't the question that if esports
Okay,
gamer
so the game was about athletes. Okay.
athletes are addicts? But yeah, I mean, that's fine only that it came to more athleticism.
Okay, so I mean, maybe we can find a middle ground over here.
Right.
So if we are defining an athlete as
Right.
someone who prepares psychologically, physically,
Hmm.
mentally, tactically,
Hmm.
and you're competing against the best.
Hmm.
So the gap in the top and the best is very minute, probably like just like 0.0 seconds differences between
In
players.
FPS games,
So
sure.
as I
Yeah.
understand, you're saying that level
Hmm.
of ability requires you to really push yourself
Yeah.
beyond what is our normal capacities.
It's also more just the fact that it's not like everyone who competes is an athlete. It's more like the pro athlete scene is built on this kind of specialized competition for a prize or whatever. And we can just like directly see nowadays that esports is getting that level of fame and revenue and publicity and whatnot. But the refusal of society to still say, oh, games is just, you play games, how do you deserve 1 million or whatever, they are getting it. It's not like you not agreeing is stopping them. So I just say, change, reframe.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess maybe we can agree over here that esports, to be good at it, requires a
Hmm.
really high level of training and performance.
Yeah.
But those athletes don't look like physically intensive work, which is why probably
Not
society
necessarily.
doesn't see it that way. But as a gamer yourself and given the rising industry, we probably don't know, right? Most people what it takes to be a
Yeah.
good gamer, and we are saying that it takes the same as being really good at any other sport.
And the principally, like, for the principles that matter, it's about the same.
Okay, so let's end by saying that okay, esports athletes are athletes, but coders are not athletes. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, guys, that was something. I did not expect so much competition. I thought it would be an easy win.
Yeah.
But we were quite challenged. And I think that's what this whole series or whole season for us has been about, where we've had topics which challenged us.
Stumped us.
It
at
stumped
times.
us. Sports metaphor, yes. And I think that's what we want to keep doing. So I think we are set for a couple of more seasons just with the idea of how well our audiences reacted in this. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite crazy. I was at times feeling bad and at times feeling overwhelmed in that episode. So at times I felt I maybe went a little too hard on some of these students, but it was great fun.
Right. Rahul, did you win?
I had to hold myself back, because my full competitor was like, not only am I going to beat you, I'm going to like pulverize you down. And then at some point, I'm like, no, wait, this is so honest and authentic.
Yeah.
I used to be this young,
You were the
idealistic
fan
kid
I
at
ever
one
beat.
time.
Yeah, that happened to me with that Arnav. It was quite crazy. I just completely lost the plot in the middle.
Superb. All right, guys, we will be coming back next season. So please keep watching. Please comment and subscribe to our channel. We will bring more sports, more games, and certainly more play. See you next time. This is Kailash signing off.
And keep moving.
Yeah, and I'm going to finally go and play. See you guys. Very soon.
Recording from that point onwards. I'll just be like, hey, Arvind, you're good to go. Like, how are you feeling today? And you ready for the conversation? Back. Then I'll just ask the question. Hey, how you doing? Good. Are you ready for the conversations? Yeah.
You're listening to
आप सुन रहे हैं
You're listening?
दिन सुनो था
നിങ്ങൾ കേൾക്കുന്നത്
ನೀವು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ರೇ ಕಥಾ ಸಂಗೀತ ರೇಡಿಯೋ
Radio Azim Premji
ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. This non commercial program is for educational purposes only.